Hello and welcome back to Eco Socialist. As you can see, I'm in my kitchen again today, but at least I'm not sitting on my kitchen floor today, because yeah. So this morning I woke up and I wanted coffee, as most of us do, but I'd run out of plant milk. Now I thought this would be a really good opportunity for me to show you how I've been making my oat milk lately. Now, I didn't used to be a fan of this homemade oat milk because I made it once and it went slimy and disgusting, but I've got it down to a T now, and I was hoping to share it with you guys, just in case you sort of run out of your dairy milk. Most of us have oats in our store cupboard, and yes, I'm pointing at you who stockpiled. You've probably got oats too, and you should probably share. Okay? Right. Okay. So I'm going to share with you how I make my oat milk. So for a litre bottle, I'm reusing my Milk and More bottle. So this I've sort of cleaned out with sort of boiling water and washing out liquid this morning. I'm giving it a good scrub. And I'm going to be adding, I'm going to readjust my camera. Whether you can get a better view. No, that doesn't work. Okay, try again. There we go. That's about right. Okay, now you can see my bowl. It's my favourite mixing bowl. I mustn't be strange, everyone's got to have their own favourite mixing bowl, right? Okay, so to this mixing bowl I'm going to add 1 cup of oats. Now I don't think it would work very well with ready bread because that would go completely slimy and awful, although I haven't tried it. So if you're desperate, could try it. Probably wouldn't work, I'm afraid, but this is 1 cup of oats, probably about 85 grams if you sort of wanted to be more accurate. So I'm just going to stick that in there, and I've soaked some dates that I've sort of chopped up in a little bit of warm tap water, just to make it easier for me to sort of blend, because I'm going to be using my hand blender with this. So you could use any type of sweetener. I think sort of if you've got maple syrup in your cupboard, that would be amazing with this, but literally you could use anything. But I would, if you are using different sweeteners, I would sweeten it right at the end and only add a little at a time, because you can put it in but you can't remove it. And if you're wanting to use this for like savoury recipes in place of milk, I would leave the sweetener altogether. But I'm going to add dates because they are much more nutritionally dense than any other sweetener. Being sort of like a vegan, I try and get my nutrients in sort of a variety of sort of sources. And some recipes say to soak. I don't soak them because I've found that when I have soaked them, they've gone slimy and awful. So I'm just going to add most of this water, and it's just cold tap water I'm using. I'm not going to add too much because I don't want it to splash around. It could get interesting on my lovely apron, which my daughter gave and redesigned for me as a gift sort of a few years ago. So yes, she is a little bit of a budding artist. Right, now I'm going to add a little pinch of salt. You could use any type of salt, you could use pink salt, but I am just going to use a pinch of, maybe 2 pinches because that was a tiny one, salt. I just found that this actually makes it strangely taste a little bit sweeter, strangely enough. And you're adding some of those trace elements in there as well, which isn't a bad thing. Okay, now I have timed how long to blend this without it getting slimy. So I've worked out that it's about 2 minutes max. So I have a timer on my phone. This is going to get noisy, so you might want to turn down your volume for a minute. So I'm going to press start on my timer and go at it with my hand blender, this sort of immersion blender thing. So this is splashing a little bit on my sort of laptop, so I'm just putting my hand here just to make clean up a little bit easier. I mean, you could pop these all in a sort of blender if you've got one, but this is what I've got, and you know what I'm like with using what I've got. Inside. Okay. Right. So this is what my mixture is looking like now. You can see all the oat brands floating kind of around the top. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab my other bowl, which I have lined with a bit of cheesecloth, sort of folded over a few times. Now you could use an old pair of sort of tights as long as they're clean. Even a clean tea towel. Just make sure you haven't used fabric softener while washing it, because you'll have issues using it to strain and milk your milk bag. Right, so all I'm going to do is tip this mixture in here. Right, I'm going to rinse this bowl out quickly because I'm going to sort of use it to transfer it to a bottle later. Put that one side. Right, now I'm going to remove my ring. ring because this is going to get a little bit messy. I'm going to bring up 2 corners and then the other 2 corners and squidge it all out. Now, I did wash my hands before I did this, obviously, so do make sure that your hands are clean because it'll make a definite difference in how long your milk will last in your refrigerator. So this will normally last about 3 days in the refrigerator, which I find that I've usually used it up by then because I love my coffee. And I usually do quite a bit of cooking, so I use it as my main sort of milk replacer. I don't think there's a technical real way of sort of just squidging all this out, so whatever kind of works for you. You'll have some sort of oat bran and bits and pieces left in the bag, or sort of cloth. You could use a nut milk bag if you sort of do have one, but most people don't, and I think they're unnecessarily expensive, to be honest. I had a sort of like a mesh strainer that I got a while ago, and it got all awful and gunked up in the seams at the bottom, so a cheesecloth works so much better, and it gets a lot cleaner when you're washing it as well, I've found. So I think we're coming to the end of everything being squidged out here. Seem to have gotten a little bit of fluff in there. Yeah, real life. Right, I think we're there. So I'm going to pop this in our little bowl that the dates came out of, just so that I don't get a messy side. I'm going to rinse my hands off. Now I'm going to transfer it back into this bowl because this bowl is easier to pour from. As you can see, it looks very sort of milky and almost creamy. Now I have seen recipes online where they've put cashews in it, and it gives it that slightly creamier mouth texture that you get from Oatly. And I think you could probably use that with like one of those milk frother type things if you're into that kind of stuff. But I just like my coffee white. I'm not doing my stomach in. So I am going to transfer this. I've still got a little bit of water left into this. This could get a little bit messy, so be prepared to laugh. Again, this bottle was very clean. Always make sure that it is clean before you're transferring it in. Not too bad. And I'll probably add a little bit more water to this because I usually make it up to about this point. But obviously I can't sort of add too much water into my bowl, otherwise it will spill over. So that is my oat milk. Put it to one side for a minute. So that's done. So this is actually almost zero waste, because I actually get my oats at the minute delivered from Able & Co. So they have a zero waste club. It's not very prominent on their website, so people haven't started panic buying in that section yet, but don't panic buy. But so they come with these labels on in little sort of like white reusable tubs that you send back to them. So it's really handy. This, for I think it was about 600 grams, was £1.70. So compare your price of shop milk for oat milk, or even sort of dairy milk, and we're making savings. And I also get their pitted dates. So I reuse my old Sanderson's pickling jar. So their dates are actually quite a nice size date, as you can see. So it's a little bit more expensive, but it's about 500 grams I got for £4.50, and I only tend to use a couple in sort of certain recipes, and sometimes I'll chop one up to go in my porridge instead of sugar. So these are handy, but not necessary really. But both of them, if you're just using this and the oat milk, it would be a completely zero waste milk. So if that's what you're looking for, as well as something that's a little bit more affordable, then maybe this could be an option for you. So anyway, I'll finish this video. So just remember that we all deserve to live in an equal world, and we all deserve to be equally respected, and our planet deserves to be equally respected as well. So yeah, it's vitally important that we remember that each of us are valuable. So take care of yourself and your health at the minute, and follow the government's guidelines and whatever you feel is safe for you. At the minute, I think we're going into lockdown, so just look after each other. Me and my partner are still actually going to be going to work because of me cleaning in Superdrug and him being a food factory worker, so fingers crossed for us. And I hope you guys are doing well. I know it's tough at the minute, but bye.